Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Queen's Wish. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're to join me today after we dealt with, well, we didn't really deal with them, as in, you know, we dealt with them, but we just talked to some really evil people over there. And now we're going to deal with a dragon, and that is the deal with. At least I think we are. You are close to the lair of the dragon. The land here is dead and littered with bones. They came mostly from offerings of livestock, but not all. There are massive, overfed reptiles wandering lazily through this rocky field. They haven't had to hunt properly for a long time. To the north, in the cliff face, you see a massive pair of steel doors. That must be where the dragon lives. Because, of course, you know. You get close to a clump of the fat, lazy lizards. Unfortunately, when prey gets close, they are far faster than they look. I imagine they're far faster than they look every time, not just when prey gets close. So, okay, not off to a great start over here. Let's try to kill this guy before we have to do bad things. Everybody's slowed, so that's pretty rubbish. That is pretty rubbish. Let's go ahead and get a battle frenzy over here. Let's get, I would say, a shockwave. It depends on if these guys are stun resistant. And yes, they are. Because of course they are. Yeah, these abilities are mostly useless all the time. I wish they weren't AoE, basically, and I wish they weren't resistant. The enemies weren't resistant to stun, because you know. The fact that they are AoE, you know, basically has to be counteracted. Let's send you in there. The fact that they are AoE has to be counteracted by the fact that they are immune to stun so much. So, AoE, you know, area of effect is what I mean to say, obviously. But, it's pretty powerful. Something that is AoE is pretty powerful. And, things are not that great. Speaking of which, we just keep giving them AoE poison. And of course, for balancing, since it's so powerful, for balancing, all the developers can do is make sure that the enemies are immune to stun, which is bad. I hate it. I hate it so much. There's the war lizards. They're all over. Okay, so I think Jeff might be in a good position to, well, actually, not Jeff. Mario over here. Whirlwind for everybody. Except for that one, because that evaded, because he's an evil person, or an evil dragon. They are all evil dragons, as we know this. And a little bit of bacon there. This guy's going to be an issue. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a knockback. That is good. That is fantastic, in fact. Mario hopefully doesn't die, but if he dies, it doesn't matter, because we can teleport anytime. And we'll see if it doesn't matter, or if it does. So I'll go ahead and get a whirlwind over here. That is reasonable. I wonder... Yeah, that's going to be a kill over there. Let's see if we can kill this one. Most likely, that's 2 poison stacks. Yeah, I'm going to say that's a kill. Let's try to kill that one over there. It's an ice drake. It really doesn't matter what they are. Yeah, that's bacon. That is more bacon. Oh, Mario just didn't die there. And that is very surprising. I was expecting him to. Let's try... Well, teleport doesn't work. Does it? It's too far away. Well, it works, but it's not when I need it. Healing. Okay. I just saved him. Okay. Bull rush up there. Reasonable. That's a little bit of poison there. It's not going to kill. That he's going to die. We might have curing, though. That's good, but I don't think I can do the healing now. Can I? I can. So the curing didn't really do much. He's confused and afraid, and it's all manner of bad things. We're really going out of our way here to save Mario. That is... I'm very surprised that he's still alive, honestly. Okay, that's a little bit of bacon there. That is a haste and an attack with an evasion. That is a hit for 41. That is brutal. Absolutely catastrophic. But we're going to keep trying to bring him back up. 41. I heal for 43. So, yeah. Good. Good. Okay, let's try to bring him back up again with more healing. And I think we're good. The lizard's dead. You search their nest. You find a scattering of Yukatish offerings going back decades or centuries, or years or months, or just last week, maybe. Most of it is trash because it's of course it's their offering, so they are trash. But you do find some gold coins and a flash of quicksilver, or a flask of quicksilver. I do like the quicksilver, but I wasn't expecting that. So we're not going to ignore these. I mean, we can't not. I mean, we can't not ignore them. Those lizards are just there for decoration. And here we are, in the lair of Gorge. Such a beautiful name. This was once an Yukatish underground city. It collapsed into ruin. Then something enormous took up residence. You can see the marks left by its claws. You also know it's a dragon, so I don't know why you're being coy about it, but anyway. When the bones, there are bones everywhere. Mostly livestock, but a few mirelings and humans mixed in. They were shackled here and left for the beast inside. The air is thick, humid, and reeking of rot. And I like to think that the dragon picks the bones clean. That's why there's bones all over the place. And that there's suckling on the marrow and whatnot, and just eating all the meat, but not the bones, because you wouldn't want to eat the bones, right? Especially considering that a lot of animals in real life do eat bones, because it's also a fair source of nutrition, as well as meat. But yeah, dragons wouldn't do that. Certainly not. Especially considering that they have such strong scales that definitely don't require like things like calcium that bones have. Anyway, it wasn't hard to find the master of this ruin. It wasn't? Okay. You can see him waiting for you to the west. He is a dragon, fully grown, in fine health, staring at your approach with great interest, also hunger, because he doesn't eat the bones. Of course, he's hungry. You freeze. For a moment, your feet refuse to carry you forward. The dragon just watches with quiet interest as you regain your composure. And by regain your composure and feet refusing you, or refusing to move you forward, it's got to do with a pop-up that doesn't allow me to continue. Because, you know, it stops things. So, we have a thing over there planned. Oh, some crystals. These are crystals, I think. We also have some resting places over there, as they like to call it, because cemetery is not a word that, I'm actually not sure if cemetery, where the word cemetery comes from. It's widespread enough that I think it can be used in fiction, but necropolis is the correct term. I mean, I say correct, but anyway, the more generic term that you can use, because while it is also rooted in history and the usage of, I think, it probably is from ancient Greece that the word comes from. I'm not 100% sure, but it still works anyway, because the practice itself of burying people on the same place is itself very culturally based, so I think it makes sense for us to call it by the names that are all themselves culturally based, rather than just the resting place, which is not only awkward, but also it doesn't fit very well in other sentences very nicely, because, anyway, don't touch, says Gorge. Gorge said, don't touch something, and I'm very sorry, I don't know what you said. Let's kill you. Do not anger me, says Gorge. I have much to offer. As you walk toward the dragon, every step takes more effort. The beast looms above you, and you are not immune to the aura of terror he projects. And he is calm right now. You can't imagine facing him when he is angry. Even Sutter has never challenged a dragon face to face, though you are sure Delia would love to talk his ear off. It's interesting that we know he's a dragon just as a him. He's a dragon. Of course we know he's a dragon. The point is, he's a him rather than her. I was under the impression that she was a her. Either way, he rumbles, I am Gorge. Maybe it's because of the name. Maybe in other languages, Gorge is a gendered name that is obviously male, but I don't know. I am Gorge, the dragon of the Yukatish swamps. You are in my home. Who are you? I am Prince Jeff of Haven. Gorge nods. You are honest. Good. No, I'm not. So much not at all. It's also Don't insult me. Don't insult me. You're honest. That's not an answer that you give or to people who say their name. Anyway, good. It would not be wise to insult me. Which doesn't mean I wouldn't be honest if I did insult you. But anyway, of course I knew who you were. How did you know? Because the Yukatas told me. I think I knew before Soft King Borgen did. I learned when you arrived, and I realized that this day must come. I knew Haven would stand before me. What do you want, human? Well, I should be addressed as Prince. Gorge snorts derisively. Or at least you think so. It could be that he just snorts, because that's what animals do. I want to deal with you. Yes, I am no greedy drake, no mindless beast. Someday I can deal with Haven. Okay, well, that settles his fate. First, I need to see how you deal with the unfortunate Yukatas. Say what you have to say, then depart. I will wait and watch. Oh, I can't attack you? Aw. So tell me about yourself. I am a dragon. For centuries, I have owned the skies over the lands known and not, which is confusing, because I apparently own unknown Anyway, that doesn't matter. I learn and I collect. I watch the ages pass. I watch Haven rise. I will watch it descend into barbarism. As if it wasn't there already. And I will watch it fall, as happens to all empires. As has happened to Haven. I mean, although it is possible that Haven has other... As I said before in this Let's Play, it is possible that Haven has other vassals elsewhere in other continents, but it's very... I mean, the game has never mentioned them, so for all we know, Haven is just a little city right now and not doing much. So the Empire has fallen. I mean, it's called the catastrophe, so I suppose it makes sense for us to assume... that... It's just a city. I came from the egg over 800 years ago, in a deep valley in the center of the continent of Torbat. You've never heard of Torbat. Your education was spotty, but surely you would remember a whole continent. Yeah, I don't know that. It's also very possible that you just have a different name for it, but let's skip past that. It is far to the west. Oh, the seas to the west are unexplored. You assume... Oh, wait, he's not saying that. I'm saying this. Right. My character is saying, oh, the seas to the west are unexplored. But by whom? Are they unexplored? By myself? That's a really weird... Or by our country, I suppose. That's a really weird way of saying it. It's like, oh, it's buried in the fog of war. Of course I don't know that continent. Maybe, says the dragon, I will tell your Princess Delia more someday. For payment. How does he know Princess Delia? I have no idea what's going on. Were you here when Haven settled on Sacramentum? I was. I watched you colonize the weak lands here, because they were rubbish. As we all know very well, they are bad people in general. It's in their genes. And I watched you flee. Another step on your path to barbarity. I'm not a colonizer. I'm just enforcing contracts. That is the naivest of lines ever. We will not end in barbarity. What does that even mean? Like, what does that even mean? Seriously. Barbarity is... So, I don't actually know the name of the English name for the people, the barbarians, I suppose. But I think barbarian is like an adjective. No, that's barbaric. Barbarian is a noun derived from the adjective. I think it's I'm not sure if there's many words for it, but me not knowing the original name does pose a problem to me explaining you where this word comes from. You might know where it comes from, and if you do, then feel free to correct me if I say anything wrong in the comments. But the point is, barbarian comes, or the idea or barbarity comes from just some people that were in Central Europe by the time the Roman Empire was expanding, and they had a bunch of battles with the Roman Empire because the Roman Empire wanted to expand. And the Romans didn't like them because they had to fight them, and they didn't like them. So you were a bad person if you were a barbarian, and vice versa. And so that's where the word comes from, and of course the myths and the stereotypes and all that are all born out of the tale that is told by the Roman Empire and by the vestiges of the Roman Empire throughout the ages, and that's where we say barbarian. We also say there's other, like Vandal, for example. Vandal is just a person. We say Vandal, and that just means it's like somebody who's an outlaw maybe, or somebody who's a ruffian, but it's basically the same thing. So it's just the Vandals were a people, and I'm not sure if they still are. Maybe, I have no idea. Maybe they got all killed because that's the real barbarity here. That's what the Roman Empire was, the real barbarity. What the Roman Empire was doing was the real barbarity, and what Haven is doing, and we have seen that they are doing, like for example, supporting slavers in the south, and also colonizing other people's lands. That's the real barbarity here. And I have no idea what that barbarity stands for, because it's not an objective thing, right? I mean, I suppose you can just come up with stereotypes for what barbarity means, what it means to be a barbarian. But like in a fictional setting, those stereotypes have very little meaning. What do you mean, barbarity? Like we're gonna stop wearing linen and are gonna start wearing leather? Is that it? Because that sounds pretty heavy metal to me. I don't think that's barbarian. Or I don't know. Maybe we're gonna use cudgels instead of swords. I don't know. That sounds a little bit more barbaric, but that doesn't mean anything. So we will not end in barbarity is not only meaningless on the face of it, but also it ignores the fact that we are a freaking colonizer that goes around not only colonizing, which is already bad enough, but also supporting slavers. And and also not just slavers. The first place that we went to on the east side of the map was also evidence of Haven supporting the bad ones, basically. I don't know who Haven supported here. As far as I can tell, they basically colonized the place, didn't support anybody because they're all rubbish. The Yukatas are terrible, and they are the worst, as we well know, because that's what the game says. And it's not problematic at all, as I have explained many times. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about this. What do you know about the calamity? Let's just not say any of those, because I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I did not cause it. I was in no way responsible. He was responsible, absolutely. You try to ask who was responsible, but he shakes his head. Even if I knew more, I would not say. There are many powers on Sacramentum. Why are you here? This is my home. I spent my century... I wonder who it was then, because I think we were already introduced to the reason for the calamity. I think the many powers referenced there means that we probably know who it is or who was responsible for it, which doesn't really matter, honestly, who it was, but it could be an interesting thing to learn about. Anyway, this is my home. I spend my centuries from land to land looking for a... You spend your centuries from land to land. Right, looking for a safe place to gather wealth and knowledge. For now, I am here. Later, I will be not here. Okay. I want to talk to you about the Yukatas. Yes, my little humans. The strange, sad, sickly owners of this swamp. They are rubbish. He seems strangely affectionate towards the Yukatas, because obviously it would be strangely affectionate, because they are rubbish. Who would like them? Not what you expected. We do things for each other. We keep each other company. What do the Yukatas do for you? They bring me... Oh, at least he didn't say bribe. I thought he was going to say bribe. They bring me tribute. Cattle, mirelings, condemned prisoners. They don't want me to hunt their lands, so they feed me. It's interesting that he says condemned prisoners when... Like, that is telling me that he's sympathetic to their politics rather than just to them as an identity people. Because he doesn't say some of them their own... Because that's what he would say if he didn't care about their politics, because that's what condemned prisoners are, some of their own. He would say, cattle, mirelings, some of their own. They don't want me to hunt their lands, so they feed me. I am expensive, but not intolerably so. They also protect me. Do the Yukatas have a choice in this? No. I try to be kind to them, but they have a thing... but they have things I want. I am strong, so I take them. I am like Haven in this. Yes, barbarian. That's what I was saying. You need their protection? Of course. Adventurers and treasure hunters all dream of killing dragons. They can't kill me, of course, but they can injure and annoy me. Normally, Yukatish swamp runners keep their sort away. It is odd that they let you through. Well, letting me through is a bit of a stretch in as far as explaining what actually happened goes. What do you think, or what do you do for the Yukatish? The occasional favor. Oh no. I can be bribed to help one clan or another, to hunt down dangerous Nagas or the mad experiments of the Achriel. I like the Yukatish being around, so I won't let anyone bully them too much. Considering you're the biggest bully, I think that is only self-serving. What do you think of the Yukatish? They are poor, dirty, and bad. Just bad, and also bad. Their clans are bad, and foolish and divided and bad. Yet I have an affection toward them. They fascinate me, because they're so bad. They are so resourceful, yet so bad. What do you mean bad? They think that everyone despises them, because they're bad. But the hate and disgust lives mostly within themselves, because they're bad. It's the people... Yes, bad is bad. It's definitely not an issue at all, what you're saying. Whatever. It's fine. So... I'm here as an envoy of Haven. Of course, and now we come to the heart of the business. The heart of the business, that is absolutely how it is. It is in every Havenite's heart to demand. What do you want, tiny human? Haven requires tribute. He laughs, and poisonous gas billows out of his mouth. Tribute? Nonsense. A dragon's hoard is his pride and his strength. You deserve none of it. Not one coin. So, Havenite, what will you do if you don't get your demand? Hiccup. I will have hiccups. I am from Haven. We are not to be refused. He rises up to his full height, and he inhales deeply. The air grows thick and rank, and it chokes you and burns your throat. You fail to keep from trembling, so you tremble. It is time to leave, fool. Withdraw, or I will swallow you. Fly over one of your forts and eject your bones onto their rooftops. Actually, never mind. I thought as much. I will deal with Haven, but I will not be insulted by it. I am older than you, and I will outlast you. Leave me alone. Yeah, I just wanted to save before I force you to... Wait, what? He doesn't let... Oh, no, he does. He does let me fight him. Oh, I could have done that a little bit better. Anyway, we're gonna be fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. We have free mind. We have some things. We got a teleport. We got... So this guy's probably gonna be immune to all the things. Definitely immune to stun, obviously. But not immune to other things. Like curse resist is only 50%. So that's not too shabby. It is shabby. Let's see what we can do. It's gonna be fine. A little bit of poison for everybody. And blindness, as far as I can tell. Yes. Well, let me move over. This... Is that okay? Can I do this? Brutal blow. Evasion. Okay. So let's step to the side. Call bones, weakness. Let's go with weakness. Hopefully that has been resisted. We can just press A there for Anna. And I can cast more. Not call bones, please. No, stop. There we go. Terror. Wait. Where's the weakness? There you are. I know things very well. Resisted. That doesn't annoy me at all. Oh, I got a little bit of bleeding there. And now... just gonna keep doing that. What does the bleed do? 40% penalty to hit with physical. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Cure all negative effects. That is good enough. And, weakness again. Weakness has been applied. And he got cured. And we also have terror, which is a very big problem. Well, I'm just gonna attack then. Yeah, I think it's better to attack. An evasion there, and fortunately the terror didn't take him very far away. That's a little bit of bleeding here. And I'm just gonna keep attacking. I think we got this. The blinds are a bit of a problem. They're a tremendous problem. We got free mind, but that's a different thing. Let's just attack normally, and hopefully Jeff goes first. That is not the case. We're going to do another battle frenzy here. And Mario lands the hit. Okay. Yeah, we're halfway done. And then yeah, you know what? No, evasion. Yeah, the evasion is going to be a problem. We're definitely going to need... Ooh. We're definitely going to need to heal the blind, maybe. Gorge lifts his head and laughs. He hasn't even begun to breathe hard. He looks down at the scratches on his flanks. Well, well, you are not entirely a weakling or a fool. I will honor you by actually exerting an effort. The dragon flaps his wings, raising a blinding cloud of dust and bone chips. He leaps into the air, arcs over the muck and crumbling walls, and lands on a rocky outcropping to the north. Well, I guess that's that. I'm not a fan of the fact that I don't know what's gonna happen here. What happens if we leave and come back? Because I'm doing that. I'm not a fan of the fact that we expended so much energy to do this. It would make sense that he would stay in the north, because it's like such a... Oh, he's here. He's here. Okay, well, I guess we're continuing from here. Hopefully we'll actually finish the job, although that was pretty difficult. We're going to need to use potions and spells and whatnot. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Queen's Wish. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead, leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.